Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you? You must always comply with local ordinances, state regulations, and international building codes. And this video is not intended to suggest or demonstrate any methods of bypassing them. But if your budget has gone off the rails or fallen apart, or you simply cannot afford hiring engineer, architect, licensed contractor to build some small lean-to shed for your tools, this video might save you from turning your money problem into a full-blown disaster. Ignorant and falling behind, you will get fined. Don't be reactive, be proactive. When you are ahead of everyone, trouble cannot catch up. There is no way the code enforcement gonna skip on this big dumpster. A lot of interior remodeling work is relatively simple and can be DIY project or done by a regular contractor. But having dumpster in front of the property you're renovating will be a trigger for code enforcement to stop by, and they might have different opinion regarding your house remodeling. I know the story when investors had a dumpster outside of the house they were flipping, and inspectors popped in and made them pull the permit to cover every small thing they were remodeling inside. If you got a lot to haul, there is no way around it. But if not, ask your contractor to load it on their trailer, might help. One day driving a familiar street, I got chills when I saw some house. One of the main streets in North Myrtle Beach, Hillside Drive South, and I was thinking that's gonna be a red rag to a bull when the city sees this fresh wood. And I was right. After 1 week since the job was completed, the code enforcement recognized this newly built and posted the orange notice stop work order. Examples are endless. On one of my projects we were leveling floors in raised house, putting additional posts underneath, which rewarded me with stop work order from local code enforcement. Even technically it was a repair, but see the difference between original old ones and newly installed posts only for leveling floor purposes. They're really jumping on the newer wood around like a shark smelling the blood in the ocean.
You got busted.
No matter how you feel, but remember, your neighbors are your friends, which wasn't the case for somebody in this mobile home park. Super fast before I got kicked out with the camera. So we see this little enclosure they had back in the day, a couple of years ago. Stop work order. There is no way the city would have found out. Guaranteed it was a neighbor's complaint.
You got busted.
Code enforcement doesn't just check for building code compliance. Even a small build like lean-to shed or enclosing porch can be classified as an addition that increases your property square footage and must be reported to the county, leading to higher property taxes. My take on sheds: if you are unable to go through permitting process, skip the lean-to and go for a detached one like we did buying this raisin shed and setting it up as coin laundry for our Airbnb. And regarding fresh wood attached, I never done it because that's the dirty game. You can try to make newly added wood look dirty, like it's been there forever, or better painted. If you got fresh materials like new lumber, bags of cement, or any building supplies laying out in front of your property, you are unknowingly inviting code enforcement to stop by. They will immediately assume there is new work planned or already in progress and check whether a permit has been pulled for it. Even if you are just planning repairs, it can raise red flags because inspectors might have different perspective. So quick tip, stay low key and keep your fresh materials out of sight or covered. Any disturbance of your stairway, handrail or deck, even for small repair, will signal to code enforcement that some work is happening. You might think replacing few boards is harmless, but my neighbor was replacing one tread, one step on his staircase. He had his vehicle parked in front of the property, maybe a little material, some tools. All of a sudden, code inspectors popped up, walked behind the house, and then walked back. He asked them whether he can help them with something, and they said they were actually looking for different edges. But then they threw at him, "But you cannot change the staircase." Code enforcement not just checking for safety, they're also looking at setbacks. Back in the day, a lot of older houses were built before modern setback rules existed. So the city wants to make sure you are not expanding beyond what was originally approved and your property is staying within the same footprint. This one is crazy, they definitely got the permit. Extending the staircase with a porch, super close to the road. And on this video you can see the suspect is escaping police by navigating around the staircase that's built too close to the road and sidewalk. When it comes to fences, there is almost no way around zoning and code enforcement. Too many things are involved: property lines, fence specifications as height and materials, neighbors. When we built bamboo fence around the pool for my property, my neighbor's house didn't even exist at that time. Then they purchased the lot, they built the house, they moved in, and the owner, she hated my fence. The original build was a little different. We had the same bamboo rolls, but different posts. It was thick bamboo posts running into the ground. After the first hurricane, the fence got disturbed and we decided to rebuild it, putting 4x4 into the footing, into the concrete.
So this is Serge with his jackhammer. Get it, Serge. Yeah.
2 hours inside our work and the code enforcement popped up. I guarantee you that's the neighbors who called on me. We had the permit for original fence and inspector said as much as we don't change the rolls, keeping bamboo, we're gonna be okay, and we executed. But just the fact how we got them over. Typically it's not difficult to pull the permit for the fence, so I wouldn't play around. Unless you replace an old one, the most what the city will request you to submit is a survey to define clearer property boundaries and avoid neighbor disputes. And design can be a simple hand-drawn sketch. The game for commercial properties is totally different. Every tiny job might require a permit and hiring licensed contractor because businesses affect public safety, accessibility, air circulation, sanitation. Typically, you are not allowed to grab a paint roller or swap flooring like you do at home, and for small businesses it's just regulation overkill. When my friend was doing minor interior renovations in her restaurant, she covered the windows with the big paper rolls. In commercial strip, it looks completely normal, like a typical business built out, classic industry approach. This move will not work for residential house. It would look like a crime scene or an abandoned property, and everyone would assume it's vacant.
You got busted.
One universal rule to stay off code enforcement's radar: schedule your work for weekends. Inspectors are people too, and they take time off. I can't say the same about nighttime though. I heard the story about electrical crew from Virginia who was hired by this Lois in South Carolina to repair the parking lights. They arrived at 4 a.m. in the morning at this time, so they do not disturb the public and customers. All of a sudden, code inspector popped up and told them they need some special permit.
You got busted.
And last thing I wanted to emphasize, code inspectors are simply doing their job enforcing ordinances, regulations, building codes by the book. They don't always realize that their strict rulings can create unnecessary hardship, adding thousands in expenses, project delays, that kicking people out of low-income crowded rentals run by small landlords over missing fire sprinklers fixes a code issue but creates a human one for those who got kicked out. Inspectors go strictly by the book, everything is black and white to them. So there is no need to take anything personal against code enforcement. Instead, we real estate investors and developers need to plan and strategize ahead of time so we can stay compliant. I hope you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any upcoming real estate content.